Alright guys, how's it going? Codeman here. Today I'm working on this Aaron's lawn tractor. It's not old, it's only about 3 years old. But we're having issues with it backfiring a lot and burning oil. So, my assumption is that it's got a blown head gasket. So here's a spark plug. Put you in the light over here. All nice and crudted up. I'm assuming the head gasket's blown. That's where all the oil and that's coming from. That's why we're popping, backfiring. Because the thing's too new to have blown rings or anything. Oil is clean, ran right where it's supposed to be. So we're just gonna start tearing it down and see what we come up with. I'm assuming it's that, but if not, we'll find it as we're tearing it down. Alright, I got the hood off. The Briggs Stratton 19 horsepower Intek. I'm just gonna take this shroud off here, bolt there, get her torn down to the head. Alright, got her torn down a little bit here. Got that air shroud off, the other cooling shroud off. That just pulls out of here with a screw. It holds it onto the air box. I got the intake disconnected, had the exhaust off here. Pull that right out. Set that aside. Spark plug wire. Might have to end up taking off this bracket here because I can't get to those head bolts in there. I'm going to take this piece of cardboard, just slide it underneath here, because most likely a little bit of oil is going to come out from the push rod valley. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to take this bracket off and I'm going to crack all these head bolts loose. Alright. I got all the head bolts off, intake manifold off, exhaust off. It's just stuck on there by the head gasket, so let's see. Alright, she broke loose. I'll try pulling the head gasket back with it because I want to see if that was the culprit. Which side are you going to come with me? Yes. Yep, that was the culprit. That was it for sure. Get you an up close shot here. See that little, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong area. We'll focus right in on it. See how it's that white valley? That's where you see where the exhaust smoke was coming through. Because right here is the oil valley. Oil comes through here to lubricate these push rods and that. Now since that head gasket blew out, oil was able to get this way and compression was able to come back and through this PCV breather, and that's where that was smoking from. And then the packing was also coming out of there in the exhaust. But there's your issue right there. I gotta clean up all this crap here. A lot of oil in here, jeez. Head looking not terrible, but I'll get this all cleaned up. We gotta scrape off all this old head gasket. I'm gonna get a new head gasket for it. Okay, you see right there on the head gasket, down in here. Nice black strip there. It's that little bit burnt through. And now the compressor is going to the crankcase. That's the culprit. Alright, now I'm just gonna slowly take this razor blade here and chisel all this crap off of here. And this piston, I'm going to keep spraying it down with some brake cleaner and let it soak. Same thing with the head here. Then I'm going to take a little light brass wire brush and try to get all that crap off there. If not, I'm going to use a steel one. But just make sure, if you're trying to use any wire wheel or brush on this, you don't hit the mating surface. You don't want that scratched up for the head gasket. You want to make sure it seats and be able to seat right down on there. So I'll get back to you when I got the stuff all cleaned up. Alright, got her all cleaned up here. I ended up using a wire wheel on my drill up here. Ended up using that because it was really stuck on there. And when I did the surfaces here, I just went lightly and been careful. It worked out good. Then I got the push rods all cleaned up. Make sure you got them the right way when you take them out. I know the intake and the exhaust are different, but I don't think it really matters if you flip them around. But I just put them back in the same way that they came out. So I cleaned up this whole valley in here. Make sure there's no contaminants in there. Cleaned everything there. The head came out good too. Head's all nice and clean. I'm gonna have to clean all down in there after I take the valve cover off, because we gotta adjust the valves again. We'll just put the head all back on. But that's going to be it for tonight, because parts places are closed, and I'm going to need a head gasket. Make sure you don't lose your O-ring that goes in there when you'll put your intake manifold back on. Yep. So, catch you again once we get parts. Alright, it's the next day now. So, we got a nice, bright, sunny, nice day out today. Anyways, I got the parts now. New head gasket here. Show you the little part number here if anybody needs it. It's for 19 horsepower. This is a little pricey little sucker. 20 bucks for this thing. The other ones I got were like 5 or 10 maybe. But got a new spark plug. The old one was all goobered up. New plug. Got another oil filter for it. I'm going to change the oil afterwards just to be safe. But what I'm going to do next, take this valve cover off and get this all cleaned up, then we can put it back on. Alright, got my head all cleaned up. Get that cover off, all that silicone, I got most of it off of there. That was a real biatch. That was some sticky crap. Just took a razor blade and took my time. This is all out with brake cleaner. Should be all ready to go on the head now. Got my head gasket. Only one way it could go on because you got these 2 holes for the dowel pins. I'm going to take my push rods out, but I'm not going to mix them up of which way they go in so you don't flip them around. I don't really think it matters that much, but I put everything back together how it came out. There's the head gasket, and now, alright, now I'm going to grab my head. I got 2 head bolts. Grab my head, and that should line right up with those pins. Right there. On those pins, I'm going to throw a couple head bolts in here just to hold it. I'm not going to tighten it, I'm just going to get them hitting. There we go. Just get those suckers hitting there, and now I'm going to put all the rest in. Alright, got all my head bolts in, and now I'm just going to tighten them up. Just little by little. A little bit of a crisscross pattern. Tighten it evenly. Yeah, I got them all snugged up now. I'm going all the way around. Give them a good crank down. Not too tight, just go into aluminum. I don't got the torque spec on it, but common sense. Alright, one more. Alright, there we go. Alright, I got all my valve lash set. I did my exhaust one here to 7, and my intake I did to 6. I had to add that backwards here. I did do them right, but this lower one is your intake, the upper one's the exhaust. So I got this one set to 7, that was set to 6. Alright, I got my valve cover. Got it all gooped up with some good stuff. Trigger on. There we go. Alright, she's all tightened up. Healthy amount of goop coming out of there. Time to put on everything else. Alright, got her all put back together here. Got all fresh oil in it. Nice new fresh oil filter. Should be all good to go, and hopefully our problem's fixed. He's got the cover that goes over this, but it's not with me right now. But let's see if she runs. Alright, let's see. The throttle, choke it. Brake on. Parking brake on. Seems to be all good. I just cut my hole on with it. Ran really well. Works good. I don't see no leak in oil or anything. She's all clean and ready to go. It just seems strange how I was only like 3 years old and blew a head gasket, but she seems to be running good again, so leave her at that.